It seems that there must be something on the other side. We are all told that truth is merely a conclusion that can reliably be derived from some observable phenomenon. We forget that truth is a tool. It is the hook upon which we hang our deeds and the bed from which we rise each day. To assume that death is the end is to assume that our being extends no further than the physical substrate that carries us. This assumption does not account for the way in which we experience being alive, nor does it sit comfortably aside the fact that we are not yet able to comprehend the way in which our being manifests itself from the flesh and bone that binds us. I believe that those gaps in our understanding are still wide enough to cast doubt on such conclusions. I believe that those gaps are yet wide enough for our souls to fit through and drift onwards into some new realm.
Special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, so say we all. Group order is a function of count and level of play and influence. Human scale is where one quantum of human is each virtually not a lone person on the Grizz scale. I didn't even know I had the scale. Welcome, everybody. This is the background compression 4th house fire stream, and an exciting news. The Goose LARP gate thingy there is now in the Leo's tail. You see how it's got that little lion? It looks like a sperm, really, but it's a lion's tail, maybe, because it's Leo now. It's Leo now. Hey, are those any Tom, you're not a member. There was get memberships yesterday. I don't. Pastor Paul has a way to give out memberships. I don't know how he does that. Maybe I can do that. Maybe somebody can tell me how. Who knows? Who knows? But Turnip, we got Doc Lenny time, Slackarius, Cosmic Muffet, Joe Cross, and McMo, as well as Josh Garrison and Tom live in the Hive Mind here today. He wasn't here yesterday, but he could watch the replay for a +5 bonus to today's savings throws. Oh, it's Peter Penrosebach. Good to see you. Savings throws, you say? I'll tell you, boys. All I got is a bunch of tabs open and a single card. What says, be careful. So that's encouraging. Let's do those savings throws. But first, this is the background compression fourth house fire. You almost said fourth house fire. Fourth house fire stream.
Remember, Embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
As you may know, you are swimming in mind control, and we have evidence of that coming for you on this show, and so. Apparently, we're still working on it.
But he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with. But he's overcoming something rather than, a true marksman will look at the arrows available and say, if I want to hit the target, I'll pick the best arrow so that I can hit the target. A true marksman might say, all of these arrows are crap. This arrow is at least crappy in a way that I can work with.
Okay, and for those of you just now arriving, I'm going to let you know in advance tomorrow I'm going to do the savings throws at minute 3 of the stream. Just because you latecomers, savings throws, as you know, are against the mind control, like the stuff you'll get in the show. You get to choose between survival, social, wisdom, or heart as the basis for your savings throw resistance to the mind control. I roll the die, and if it's over 10, the choice you made, the die that you chose, if that one's over 10, you have made the savings throw and take half damage from the mind control that follows. If it's under 10, you take full damage from the mind control that follows. But you can get bonuses to your roll by chatting in the Hive Mind, leaving replay comments, etc. It's anything that helps the algorithm, helps your savings throw bonuses. Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Whoa, survival is jumping out of my hand to roll a nat 20 today. That's an odd circumstance. Socialist with a 7. Lovers of wisdom with a 5. A 5 for you. Heart folks, Prime 17. You've made it today. Indigo kids pairing up with survival for the blessed. You get to see, behold, a nat 20 on the Indigo die. You guys get to get +3 to tomorrow's saves, as well as a bonus for doing so well today. All mankind is dominated by a sun disk. Domination. To the right. Domination. It is frail. The dream has its own limitation. Let's get back to your dream. What does the dream say?
We need more psychology. We need more understanding of human nature, because the only real danger that exists is man himself.
Domination is frail. anima is the female element of the male unconscious. Hey, look, everybody, Cassandra's here, and that's a lady's name. PPP, did you manage that before the dice were rolled? Did you do that? Well, was that before the dice were rolled? You put that in the Hive Mind chat? I don't know. You commented on the replay of yesterday's short. I'm glad you did too. We enjoyed those. We give bonuses. And yes, you got the +5. But where are we at? Be careful. It would work. She'd love it. She'd love it. Yawn. Man, your name is so tiresome. Oh, look at this. And this one, I just personally really enjoy this one right now.
It's a whisper in your ear, now listen here. Remember, embody, it's all so clear. No hidden strings, no puppeteer. We're by your side, have no fear. I cherish truth. I cherish truth. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Oh, this is the background compression fourth house fire stream. Let's get into the fourth house fire part. You know, here on the Grimgrid streams, we make sure that we aren't clickbait by delivering on both the title and the thumbnail in each stream. Isn't that amazing? Amazing casino deck card for the show. King of clubs today. Isn't that a nice one? All right, let's get to the burning, the fire, the fourth house. The fourth house, as in case you missed it yesterday, the first appearance of that branding, I think, we discussed how the astrological houses that the astrology weirdos use can be useful to us other people as things we need to balance in our lives the way plates spin. The things in our lives we need to consider, take into consideration, and spin like plates. Those astrological people, they've broken them down into these houses for some weird nonsense. We don't know what any of that means, but they are areas of our lives we should look into. And this is the fourth house fire stream, which means you've probably loaded up what is the astrological fourth house on a tab. And apparently, according to those weirdos, as you can see over here on the right, there's apparently 10 houses of we got to deal with in certain systems. But the fourth one represents the domain of home, family, and early life experiences. There are aspects of selfhood that are your home, family, and early life experiences. That's the house that's on fire today, or the house that's socially been on fire since the Industrial Revolution.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Danny.
Okay. Now, before we get deeper into the be careful, I'm holding this card for some reason. Let's go back in time about 3 years. 3 years ago, apparently, according to this thing here. And that was when, on the General Eclectic number 24, Rod Dreher and our good friend Cale Zeldin did a cathedral narrative of broken windows and the logic of civilization. I have no idea why the algorithm fed me this morning, but I did note that this section here was called White Power, and it contains our favorite 33rd minute.
Below in the show notes, but basically you got to see it. It's about a 5.5 minute video, and it is basically telling white people that they need to form white groups. So, you know, sort of accountability groups, and sort of really sort of struggle through their whiteness. I mean, this is just straight out of Mao. I mean, this is really amazing stuff. Of course, done by the Washington Post with zero irony, like with zero sense that maybe there are some historical antecedents that we might want to, you know, become conscious of and avoid. Because as you have pointed out on numerous occasions, like, you do not want to invoke, call upon these dark devils of white identity politics. Like,
absolutely, you know, not.
You and I grew up in a world in the immediate aftermath, right? I mean, I think you talk about this so eloquently in your blog. I mean, like, you come out of a world where you knew people who had participated in their youth, to be fair, sort of, but in white identity politics, and it's in
the Klan,
and right. That's what I mean. You know.
I said, oh, look, it's Dawn's Stew. Oh, a diamond. I used to get those on Lemon Land. They were worth a lot. Okay, be careful. Let's do this be careful stuff out of the way. All right, here's me being careful. What you're about to... Yeah, you got it. You that was a little one, but you got it, Clint. +4 to tomorrow. What you're about to hear is... well, you see, I'm auditioning for a play, and they want you to bring a monologue. And so I found this thing written by a fictional character I'm going to read to you and practice my monologue of for this play I'm auditioning for. This means that the individual psyche is far from being safely synthesized. On the contrary, it threatens to fragment only too easily under the onslaught of unchecked emotions. While this situation is familiar to us from the studies of anthropologists, it is not so irrelevant to our own advanced civilization as it might seem. We, too, can become dissociated and lose our identity. We can be possessed and altered by moods, or become unreasonable and unable to recall important facts about ourselves or others, so that people ask, what the devil has gotten into you? We talk about being able to control ourselves, but self-control is a rare and remarkable virtue. Okay. And congratulations on those of you who made your savings throws today. To better understand our form of government, I will point you to one of the most astonishing pieces of standalone evidence I've found. Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton's 1988 DNC speech, where he nominated Mike Dukakis for president against George W. Bush. The speech is a vile, mean-spirited roast of Dukakis that makes no sense whatsoever. For Clinton to ruthlessly attack a member of his own party should have been political suicide. And he repeatedly mocks Dukakis' noble and earnest qualities. Notably, actor Rob Lowe, who was supporting Dukakis, was a victim of a teen sex blackmail operation at the DNC that year. Set in 1988. Since we know Clinton is a close associate with teen sex blackmail artist Jeffrey Epstein, we can suddenly make perfect sense of the nonsensical speech by applying this lens. Bill Clinton is a cocky mob boss who blackmailed Mike Dukakis because Dukakis thought it was his job to help the public. He teases out the future public revelation that Kitty Dukakis drank rubbing alcohol and offers a strange anecdote about the crack epidemic that reveals he is an exceedingly proud drug runner. What does this revelation tell us? That our government is conning us completely, that Bill Clinton was secretly on former CIA Director George W. Bush's side, and that the Democratic versus Republican division has been entirely manufactured ever since. Clinton is with Bush, Gore is with Bush, Trump is with Hillary, and so on. When they present themselves in public, they are acting as characters that are against one another, practicing kayfabe, as wrestlers do. Oh, you were going to use the googly-eyed one.
What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile? What makes you assume that I'm not about to feed you all to the crocodile?
That's very exciting.
Hello. I see the assassins have failed.
+5 to tomorrow for Cassandra. As it turns out, we have a secret kleptocracy. Both parties are run by financial criminals whose only goals are to divide, deceive, and bleed us dry. They divide the public against itself and blame the other party while everything gets worse and more expensive and a handful of people take all the money. Since it is fully parasitic, a secret kleptocracy is an incredibly unstable form of government, and left to its own devices, it can only lead to fascism or a failed state. One of the key findings of this research is that Harvard University is one of the largest organized crime fronts in history, which is how they churn out billionaires. It's a major hub of this sprawling criminal network. As it turns out, dozens of the writers of The Simpsons went to Harvard, so I asked myself the question, if The Simpsons serve the interest of organized crime, how would it do so? Well, it offers a dysfunctional family suffering from moral decay, a community incapable of solving its problems, a worker drone who slaves away for an evil billionaire, and cathartic laughs for our poor collective circumstances. There are some notable specifics as it relates to this research, too. In Marge versus the monorail, the townsfolk are too oafish and divided to invest in the town's needs and fall for the charms of a dazzling showman with a bogus monorail Ponzi scheme. When we know that the show is closely linked to an organization that invests billions of dollars in Ponzi factories, this becomes quite damning. In least, okay, and then, when we piece it all together, we understand the truth. We are in a totalitarian doomsday cult. Why on earth would our elites do this? There are many reasons, but the simplest is because capitalism is unsustainable, and they knew it. Climate change and resource extraction would catch up eventually, so they never intended to sustain it. They knew all along that they would gobble up all the wealth they could and then yank the rug out from under us so they could pivot to a hellish fascist dystopia. All right, and then here's a series of questions. Why is Stanley Kubrick's comedy about mutually assured destruction called Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb? Because he was a cocky secret fascist who was getting us to stop worrying and love the bomb. Why did he make A Clockwork Orange? So we'd rejoice at ultraviolence designed to desensitize us to the horrors of the world. Why were the Manson family murders crawling with cover-ups and intelligence agents? Because our government wanted to make us fear for our lives and believe that hippies are deranged psychopaths. All right, but eventually he gets to my favorite quote. When it comes to any popular media, if you ask yourself the question, why would secret doomsday cult kleptocrats want the public to consume this? You will find your answers. All right, that's the fourth and the house fire. All we have left is background compression. And if you don't know why that was the fire, then ask Cassandra. She seems to have figured it out. Okay. Earlier today, Christian Baxter, good old C-Bax, released the following, and this part seemed really good. Edit. Oh no. What is it, Grim? Well, you see, you've loaded this up and made it visible because Pineapple Pizza mostly pulled this clip from the other day, and you thought you'd share it because it was a 5-banger over here in the clip stream.
And then that led me to understand, that's the whole point of suffering. Like, that's the whole point of suffering. Because if everyone is in their own little bubble getting exactly what they want and not suffering 24/7, then there's no reason to help anyone, because they're getting what they want and they're happy and they're joyful and everything's good. And that's obviously not the case when we get exactly what we want. And so then the telos of life presents itself. It becomes abundantly clear, which is it's not even that we have a responsibility. We do have that responsibility, but like, it's the whole point of us being here is to serve our fellow man. Like, it's the whole point. And so as we move more and more into that technological future, because that's what's going to happen, unless we have a World War III or something like that, could very well happen. But like, that's what the future is going to look like. And then the question is, how do we become? And then that.
Oh no, the minute limitation of the clip let us never know what the question was. That's a shame. That was good though, Neil. Way to go, Daedalus, right? They call him that. Anyway, here's that nice part from Baxter I plugged already.
In the Catholic Mass, the priest during the Eucharistic prayer, he takes the bread and wine before they're consecrated and says, he takes the bread and says it's the fruit of the earth and work of human hands that will become the bread of life. And so there's this idea that we're all gathering elements of the world together for a purpose, right? It's like the ultimate artistic expression of taking something from the earth for glorification of God, right? For recognition of the Father. So anything you build, whether it's an artistic endeavor or an entrepreneurial endeavor, has to be ultimately for God. It has to have that through line in order for it to bring meaning to you. I think, I think that people can find meaning in all sorts of ways, but if it's not connected finally, like teleologically, all the way up, then it kind of loses its substance, and it kind of loses its purpose as being built in the first place. So like, everything we do, everything that we build and work towards has to ultimately lead back to Christ and then the Father.
Jeremy asks, what is stochastic trivia? And that's where you sow little nuggets of a character assassination web at random stochastic things there, right? and documentarian that has yet to release the documentary, Justin Wells, had a fascinating character on the other day named Rex McDaniels. You're going to buzz through this. All right. Well, it goes like this. You start it off.
So I'm standing over my son. He's huddled on the ice beneath me at my feet and in tears. And I'm barely holding myself back from cursing.
That was the hook. That was a hook. His son is crying, and he's anyway. The nice thing that the man goes through is like all the good parts of a good quote unquote good story, and then he does it in a story and shows you one by one on it happens. Reality stings, bites, intoxicates, or seduces the hero is step one. Step two is the hero makes it worse. Welcome to our story, and that's the thing. What is the meaning of a story? And that got me thinking that the meaning of a story is that it serves to all for us to update our background in our whole, thanks to old Wokel bringing us Beauregard strawberries, and also the background in the intentionality network. In those terms, the compressed stories have meaning because what the meaning is it updates to our background of the reality we live in, which is mostly unknowable, but we assemble tiny little pieces through the meanings. I think, and that's why it says background compression at the top. Ooh, ace of hearts for the agency deck today. That's nice. Yeah, as heuristic adjustments. They let you adjust your heurisms. Are your heurisms out of line? Come on by for a heuristic adjustment. Here at the... Yeah. Let's do that.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
Yeah. Let's do that.
We've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore. The exception has to become the center, has to become the one that's holding the center of the story. And so because of that, we've put ourselves in an impossible situation with storytelling, which is that you can't tell the story anymore.
All right, and so I'll tell it anyway. For those of you following the story, there's been an appearance of a little white one. For those of you on the Discord in the secret resonance halls, you have to earn your keys to get in there. But there's this place called Chamber 1. We have the first picture of the little white one. It's not very good, so I'm not sharing it with the group. Here's the I shared it with the inner group, but not for the public. We'll get you a good picture. Okay, and then hey, it's in Leo now, whatever that means. I think there might be some special. Oh, that's what you completely botched this entire show.
Slime! What? It's a river of slime!
What happened was when you use Ko-fi and you achieve a Ko-fi goal and you go to the Ko-fi site to like see what's going on. It tells you that you've achieved your goal, and I wanted to share that moment with you guys. So when I went there today to get the link to put at the top of the stream, I stopped and only did this. Let's see. Does it work? No. Come on. See, there's a little pop-up. It says you achieved your goal, and you didn't even. Oh, dear. Anyway, we have achieved the kayfabe maintenance goal. He's going to the vet tomorrow. We now return to the VIP unlock goals, which I'll do while you watch this. Oh, there we go. There we go. And now, what should have been at the top of the screen or at the top of the Hive Mind chat the whole time, the new goal, back to the VIP ticket unlock. We are at 63%. There are only 2 seats remaining. Those seats are for the special face-to-face encountering birthday party for myself at Nate's house the Sunday after the Encountering Face-to-Face conference from September 12th to 14th in Olympia, Washington, with Michael Martin, Vanderclay, Green, Wong, Kelly, and Pardoon. You get the code, you unlock the code, you say purchase ticket, you click here, you put in the code. Some people have codes and haven't done that yet. I have to resolve all that. I don't know that we've attacked the darkness today, and I apologize for that. But, it's a live show. There's lots of errors and stuff. And I do it poorly, as I do, to remind you that you could do it even better. There is no fourth wall. We're just people. If you want to see somebody that does it well and the try-hard approach, check with our good friend Christian Seebex. What? All right, and then you find the train and end the stream. Okay. All right, thanks, Empathy. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, early savings throws. Don't be late.